Tonight, President Trump touched on the Molly Tibbetts case at his rally in West Virginia.
You heard about today with the illegal alien coming in, very sadly, from Mexico. And you saw what happened to that incredible, beautiful young woman. Should have never happened. Illegally in our country. We've had a huge impact, but the laws are so bad. The immigration laws are such a disgrace. We're getting them changed.
Well, tonight, Agnes Giboney, who lost her son to an illegal immigrant, is here to share her unique perspective on this heartbreaking case. And retired lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Randy Sutton, offers us a law enforcement perspective. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agnes, what was your thought when you heard this case today and what police were summing up for us this afternoon?
Heartbroken. My heart goes out to the family. And this is an outrage, a preventable crime that should have never happened. If the politicians would secure our borders and start deporting illegal aliens, maybe Molly would still be alive today. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
And so people know more about your story, Agnes. You were a legal immigrant here yourself, but your son was later killed years ago by an illegal immigrant gang member. And this is something that you have made a very important cause for years now.
Absolutely. It's not about my son. It's not about the thousands of American citizens that are killed by an illegal alien. This is about protecting our country. I always believe that this country is protecting its citizens, and what a disappointment it has been to know that they are not. And so many people, so many families are heartbroken forever to follow in my path. And this should have never happened to my son and thousands of other families in this country. We need to protect our own.
Okay, Randy, I want to bring you in here. I want to read part of the affidavit so people know exactly what the suspect has told police, according to their sworn affidavit connected to his arrest warrant. It says he parked his vehicle, got out, and was running behind her and alongside of her. Rivera says she grabbed her phone and said, "I'm going to call the police." Rivera said he then panicked and got mad and that he then, quote, blocked his, quote, memory, which is what he does when he gets very upset and doesn't remember anything after that until he came to an intersection. Rivera states he then made a U-turn, drove back to an entrance to a field, and then drove into a driveway to a cornfield. He noticed there was an earpiece from headphones in his lap, and that's how he realized he'd put her in the trunk. Randy, what do you do with this case?
That's nonsense, of course. He gave a little bit of information to the police, enough to bring them to the conclusion that he had killed her, and then led them to where the body was, but conveniently blacked out before the assault and didn't remember anything. That's nonsense, and I'm sure that they'll discover that he remembers everything. Well, this tragic story, though, what it really does reveal is the amazing police work that was done to bring this case to a conclusion, though.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about having surveillance tapes and spotting his car, and that he may have seen her before. And also, I have to wonder, Randy, will they go look at other cases? Because it's hard to believe, although it could happen, that this would be the first time that you would engage in this kind of behavior and we'd wind up with somebody who's been murdered. Do you think that police will now spread a wider net to look at other cases in the area?
Oh, absolutely. There will be, remember, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is already involved in this case, and they keep a tremendous database of all unsolved crimes. So they will look at the MO that this suspect did. They will compare it to other unsolved homicides and determine if this was his first major crime, or if there were other abductions, my guess is when they do the autopsy, they're gonna find that there was other crimes committed to this poor woman, and I think that they will be looking at unsolved sexual assaults as well.
Okay, Agnes, tonight a lot of folks saying that there's no way that this should be political. The president shouldn't be talking about it at his rally. We shouldn't be talking about walls. There are some reports we've been trying to confirm, information that there are allegations that this young man was working at a farm that was owned by someone who has deep GOP connections there in Iowa. Is it dangerous to make this a partisan issue at this point?
No, this is an issue, and we all need to make this a big issue. Look, we formed a group called Angel Families to bring to light these types of crimes, because American people need to know this is not an isolated case. To circumvent the biased liberal media that's lying and not covering these stories, Molly is not the only one that has been killed. There's thousands of others. How many more are we going to sacrifice? This is not a political issue. We need to enforce immigration laws, and we need to start getting down and deporting these illegal aliens, starting with the criminals. There shouldn't be any leeway for them. Why? How many more do we need to lose? How many families need to be destroyed, like mine and like thousands of others? How many? President Trump is on the right track. We need to build a wall, we need to enforce immigration laws, and we need to deport criminal illegal aliens. And I don't care if this guy was a really good guy. Well, he obviously wasn't, because he took a precious life.
And Agnes, no one knows this pain better than you. No one can speak to it better than you. Randy, on these issues of enforcement and whether ICE can get a detainer now on this accused suspect and what happens from here, I mean, how difficult is it for local and state law enforcement in trying to find this balance and working with the feds when you have a case like this where, for now, authorities are saying this guy's been here illegally for at least 4 to maybe 7 years? Right.
Well, ICE has already obtained a detainer. That's already been placed on him. And while this is not political in the sense that Democrats and Republicans are at odds about this particular crime, the fact of the matter is that this is a public safety issue, as it has always been, but it has been politicized. The unfortunate thing is that Congress, unfortunately, has not done their job. The president is doing the very best he can with the tools that are there. This insanity with this hatred for ICE and what they do is nothing short of madness. Protecting the people is what law enforcement does. ICE is part of that apparatus. They're the men and women that do that job are incredibly dedicated, and for them to be vilified by the media and by Democratic politicians who seemingly don't care about innocent victims is something that I find absolutely abhorrent.
Well, it's a conversation that will once again get heated up because, unfortunately, of this case. Randy and Agnes, thank you both for sharing your perspectives. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Shannon.